If you're hoping for something cinematic and heroic, like clinging onto a helicopter rotor and spinning through the air, well, you might be a bit let down. Because what would really happen is far less glamorous. Helicopter rotors take time to build up speed. Once they start spinning, it could take 10 to 15 seconds just for a single full rotation. That gives you a long, awkward moment to lock eyes with the pilot before you're gradually pulled out of view. Chances are you wouldn't make it around even once. Hanging onto the rotor, especially its smooth surface, would already be a serious challenge while it's stationary. But once it's in motion, your grip would likely give out before a single turn is completed. The thing is, helicopter blades are much larger than they appear, which creates the illusion of slower motion. We're not used to seeing large objects move that fast. When a helicopter is idling on the ground, its rotor might look calm, almost like a mobile above a baby's crib. But trying to hold onto that rotor, you'd be pulled outward with surprising force. Within 5 to 10 seconds of startup, the rotor could complete half a turn. If you were holding on, you'd already be swinging out due to centrifugal force. That force could feel like carrying an extra 10 or 20 pounds. Fortunately, most helicopter rotors sit low enough that a fall might only result in minor injuries and a bruised ego. Now, let's say you somehow do manage to stay on. Things escalate quickly. Once the rotor completes a full spin, the outward force could exceed your own body weight, pulling you far from the center. It would feel like another person is clinging to you, doubling the strain. Even with a strong grip, holding on would be incredibly difficult. To actually ride the rotor around, you'd need a proper attachment system to keep yourself secured. But as the rotor accelerates, things get even more extreme. After a second full spin, you'd be pulled nearly straight out to the side, with your hands bearing several times your own weight. At that point, you wouldn't be hanging on for much longer. If the rotor reaches 1 rotation per second, typically after 20 seconds, you'd be experiencing forces equivalent to several tons. At the 30-second mark, either your grip would give out, or your body simply couldn't keep up with the stress, and it's not just you that would be affected. The helicopter itself would start to behave erratically. Rotor blades are balanced to operate smoothly under intense tension. Introducing extra weight to just one side would throw off this balance, kind of like a washing machine with an uneven load. Even adding a few ounces to a rotor can cause major vibrations. Now imagine adding an entire person to the tip of the blade. That imbalance could cause the entire helicopter to shake violently or even destabilize before it gets airborne. Ironically, this scenario could make a great action movie moment. You know those classic scenes where the hero leaps and grabs onto the helicopter's skids to stop the villain from getting away? Well, if they really wanted to stop the helicopter, they should aim a little higher.